Hi, so this tutorial will help you find the area of a shaded region given a figure that is divided into shaded regions and non-shaded regions. So there are two strategies in which you can use to solve these kinds of problems. The first of which involves just finding the area of the shaded regions. But that might not always be the best way to solve a problem, or it might even just not be possible. So sometimes we have to solve the area of the total region. In this case, it is a parallelogram. And we have to subtract from that the area of the non-shaded region. So in written form, we need to solve for the area shaded, and that will be equal to the area total, which is the parallelogram, and subtract that from that the area of the non-shaded region, and that in turn will get us the area shaded. So again, here's our steps. To find the area shaded, we have to find the area of the total region, which is the parallelogram, subtract from that the area of the non-shaded region, and in turn we will be left with the area of the shaded regions. So let's start by finding the area total. We define the region, the total figure, as being a parallelogram. And we know for a parallelogram that the area of the parallelogram will be equal to the base times the height. So in this problem, we know that the base is 2x minus 12, and that the height is equal to 4x plus 10. So let's insert our values, being sure to use parentheses because they're being multiplied. So it's the base, which we said was 2x minus 12, times the height, which is 4x plus 10. These are multiplied, if that helps you. The dot means multiplication. So we have to use the distributive property and say that the first term must be multiplied by both the first and the second term of the other value, and the second term in turn must be multiplied by the first and second values of the next problem, of the height. So area total, we can distribute 2x times 4x, add to that 2x times 10, add to that negative 12 times 4x, and add to that negative 10 times 10. I'm sorry, negative 12 times 10. So the area total is equal to this term, which is 8x squared, plus 2x times 10, which is 20x, plus a negative 12 times 4x. So we know that negative 12 times 4x will be equal to negative 48x, and if we're adding a negative, we're just subtracting. So that's negative 48x, and then adding negative 12 times 10, negative 12 times 10 being negative 120, and we're adding a negative value, so we're just subtracting, which is minus 120. Area total, that's a ditto sign, not professional at all. So this is equal to, we're just simplifying, finding like terms, which we have, 2x and negative 48x. That can simplify to negative 28x. Great. So we've finally solved the area of the total thing. But as you see here, the area of the total figure, that includes a shaded region and a non-shaded region. So we have to subtract from the area total. We have to subtract from that the area of the non-shaded region to find the area of the shaded region. Okay, so area non-shaded. So why is it 1/2 base times height? Well, we know that this is a triangle. It's very obvious. Hopefully it is. And since we know that this is a parallelogram, we can see that the height will be perpendicular to the base, right? A parallelogram implies that you have right angles. You can see that. So since this is perpendicular, we can assume that it's the altitude reaching from the base to the height. So we can use it as the altitude. So it's the area of the base times, it's the base value times the height times 1/2 is the area of this triangle. Okay, area non-shaded will be equal to 1/2 times base times height. So we know that it will be 1/2 times the base, which is 2x minus 12, times the height, which is 4x plus 10. Now, we can continue. So we know that 2x, excluding the 1/2 value, 2x minus 12 times 4x plus 10, we already solved for that up here. So we don't even need to do more math. So we can just assume that this value can in turn be replaced by this value. So adding it back in, this is equal to that. and that is multiplied times 1/2. Okay, and now we're just going to distribute each term. So 1/2 times 8x squared will be 4x squared. 1/2 times negative 28x should be a negative 14x. And 1/2 times negative 120 should be equal to negative 60. So the area of the non-shaded region is equal to 4x squared minus 14x minus 60. So let us recall that we said that the area of the shaded region will be equal to the area total minus the area of the non-shaded region. So we can just input our values into this equation. So we know that the area of the shaded region is equal to 8x squared minus 28x minus 120, and we are subtracting from that this entire value, which is 4x squared minus 14x minus 60. So remember to put parentheses when you're substituting any value. That'll help you when you get into advanced levels of math. So for now, we need to distribute the negative sign into this substituted value. So this stays the same, 8x squared minus 28x minus 120 minus negative 1 times 4x squared is negative 4x squared. A negative of negative 14x is a positive 14x, and a negative times negative 60 is equal to positive 60. Now, let's continue. It's equal to, so we can simplify. Are there any x squared terms? Well, yes, there are. 8x squared and negative 4x squared. So if we have 8x squared, so taking away 4x squared, we're left in turn with 4x squared. Are there any x terms? Well, we do. We have negative 28x and positive 14x. If we subtract 14 minus 28, we get negative 14, and that's in terms of x. So negative 14x. Now we are left with the x to the 0, or just normal terms with no variables. Negative 120 plus 60, that will be equal to negative 60. So we know that the area shaded is equal to 4x squared minus 14x minus 60. And since we know that there were units in the problem, actually it was just units, we're going to write that it's units squared to make our teachers happy. So the area of the shaded region is equal to 4x squared minus 14x minus 60. Hope you enjoyed.